Hello there everybody, it is me XFreezerBunny and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we're building kind of like a reimagined version of the Plumbob Pictures Museum. This build is part of the Get Baemous World collab I'm doing with a bunch of my other Simmer friends. Yeah, so all 7 of us are coming together to completely rebuild all of the lots here in Zalsal Valley. So joining me for this collab are HeyHarrie, IrrelephantSims, Justige, Simlicy, DevonBumpkin, and Penapple. I will put links to everybody's channels in the description below. Some of us are on YouTube and some of us are on Twitch, so I will make sure to link everybody as well as their builds. But this is my little project right here, which has been in the works for probably about a week or two. I will say that this build was supposed to come up a couple of days ago, but I decided to postpone it a little bit because I felt like it could use a little bit more work. Hashtag perfectionist, hashtag blame Tej. But I'm so happy to finally be able to share this with you guys. So obviously we are working on the museum venue here in Zalsal Valley, and I will say that I'm really happy with how this museum makeover came together in the end. I tried to go for kind of like this deconstructive architectural style, and for those of you guys who may not be too familiar with that, Deconstructivism is an architectural movement that's part of the postmodernism architectural movement that happened sometime during the later part of the 20th century. But basically Deconstructivism is known for its sculptural shapes and basically distorted forms. And yeah, basically there's many structures out there that don't have like 90-degree angles and things like that, so that's basically kind of like what's recognizable, at least as far as features for deconstructive architecture goes. I will say that deconstructive style is very difficult to recreate in The Sims 4 because literally we have straight lines and those are not supposed to exist in you know, deconstructive style buildings. But you know, I was really inspired because a lot of the museums I've seen were actually built in this style, and some of my inspirations were the Jewish Museum by Daniel Libeskind, and also the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao, Spain, which was made by Frank Gehry. There we go. Yeah, this is really technical because this is stuff that you learn in architectural school. So yep, you know, postmodernism has this principle: form follows fantasy. So there's a lot of really beautiful sculptural elements in a lot of postmodern architectural styles, and this is definitely one of them. I wanted the building itself to also be part of the artwork, if you guys got what I mean. Like, it's also kind of like a destination all in itself. So that's kind of like what I was trying to go for, and I'm so happy with how the shape and the form of this building came together, because I feel like you know, it's really different, I guess. I tried my best to not make this boxy in a very Sims 4 kind of way, so I'm making use of the roofs, I'm making use of the glass roofs to come up with this interesting shape for the facade of the building, and I'm really happy with it. Also, the glass roofs kind of tie into the interior as well, because many of the art galleries inside are actually lit by natural light. So I'm really happy that, you know, it's all coming together in a very cohesive way. So one thing that I wanted to incorporate on the outside here are like some reflection pools. I tried to get the fountains to be as close to the wall as possible, but for some reason it doesn't want to be built super close to this roof, so that's literally the closest I could get to it. So yeah, unfortunately it's not giving me the effect that I wanted, even though I'm still really happy with that reflection pool kind of effect. But I kind of wish that I was able to put it a little bit closer to that glass wall in front, because I feel like that really kind of makes it more amazing looking, if I do say so myself. Not to toot my own horn, but like I said earlier, I'm just really happy with the shape of this build. By the way, this build is a little bit shorter compared to my usual work, and mainly because oh my gosh, I cannot even talk. And the main reason for that is because there's really not much to really furnish in museums in The Sims 4. Like, I did furnish this museum with all the requirements for it to be a functional museum, but other than that, there's really nothing much to do in a museum in The Sims 4, which is why when I do my gameplay, I don't really take my Sims to museums that often. That might change, but I don't know why. But to be honest, I don't really tend to take my Sims out that much because I just hate loading screens. I feel like loading screens are such a barrier for me to explore the world. So, I think there's very few lots that I actually like to visit with my Sims. I think some of them would be like restaurants, maybe a cafe once in a while, but as far as museums go, it's not on the list of community lots that I enjoy taking my Sims to go visit. But that being said, I think that if they expand on museums, I think that I might be compelled to take my Sims out to museums a little bit more, even though I don't really know what else they can do. But anyway, back to this build. For the outside, I was initially planning to paint the entire thing all in white, and then it just felt a little bit bland. So I decided to incorporate this red wall right here, and I'm using these windows. I'm not sure what those came with. I'm assuming fitness stuff. But I'm using those kind of like as like this architectural ornament, just to make things a little bit more stand out in front. Oh, another problem that I encountered doing this build is this split leveling just does not want to work for me for some strange reason. So this was definitely a struggle. I think I spent an hour trying to get this split leveling to work. But in the end, I kind of gave up because I was initially planning to have a two level high foundation, if you guys get what I mean, or a 2-step high foundation. But because the split leveling did not want to work for me, I ended up going for a 1 level high foundation, which doesn't necessitate the use of stairs for the Sims to go down a level. So as much as I wanted to have a little bit of a higher foundation, it just does not want to work for me for some strange reason. So I ended up with this 1 level foundation, which ended up fine in the end. But because of that, I wasn't able to really put these set pieces where I wanted them to, because there weren't that many areas of this build that were high enough to accommodate these set pieces. So I was able to include some of them, but not as much as I would have liked. Anyway, so this area right here ended up being an art gallery, and I'm really happy with this because this little setup right here where the paintings are being displayed reminds me so much of when I was in college. I basically went to one of my country's best art schools, and basically the whole building itself is kind of like an art gallery. Like the hallways of my college were literally art galleries. So like doing this reminded me so much of just walking down the halls and appreciating, the shapes and the art that's on display. So this is what I was kind of channeling. So yeah, by the way, this particular art gallery showcases this new painting that came with Get Baemous. It's so beautiful. I love that new painting. I think it's supposed to look like it's part of the mid-century modern, but it is very versatile because it has a lot of different arts that it's trying to exhibit. So it has black and white, it has like, you know, portraits. Does it have a portrait? Yeah, and it has like abstract. It's really nice, and I tried my best to exhibit it in a way where it would probably be exhibited in real life, if you guys get what I mean. This little hallway right here is for sculptures, so I'm including some really interesting sculptures right here. I really like that bird sculpture. I thought it was really dramatic. It also comes with its own lighting, which was quite interesting to see as well. And then right here is where I decided to kind of like incorporate some custom art compositions, because, you know, when you go to museums, especially more modern ones, you would see art installations that are specifically made to you know, like I don't know, they're like specifically composed to deliver a specific message. So that's what I was trying to accomplish with that wall of fishes. I don't know what message I'm trying to convey there, but yeah, it's my attempt at making custom artworks. Anyway, I thought that this was a little bit of a fun little area right here underneath the stairs. So I just put like a little sitting area, and I really enjoy that. By the way, you guys, it's like 3 a.m. In case you guys haven't noticed my lack of coherency in this commentary. Basically, I'm up so late because I had to wait for my parents to go to the airport because they stayed over for a couple of days. So yeah, I just saw them off to the airport, and now I'm just like, you know what? Let's record a voiceover. This is actually the second voiceover for this video. The other one was recorded for the first attempt at releasing this, but I was like, you know what, let's just do another recording because some of the stuff that I might have said in my previous recording was probably irrelevant. So anyway, I was really happy about this, the way this one set piece was exhibited. Over here you guys can see the one that we're looking at in the middle right there, because it kind of like transcends two different levels of the museum. So yeah, I had to kind of like make a hole in the ceiling to accommodate that set piece. But I'm really happy with overall how this museum came together, because it's very like, I don't know what word to describe it, but maybe like psychedelic, if that makes any sense. Psychedelic in the sense that, you know, it's very like disorganized, it's very disjointed, almost incoherent, but in a way that's very artsy, if you guys get what I mean. So yeah, I was really happy with that. By the way, one thing that I forgot to include in this build is actually the lighting. I just was not able to record me actually fixing the light. So in case you guys are like, why are all of the lights in random spots? It's because it's not the final lighting. So yeah, that will change. But I really enjoyed doing this little area right there, the one that we just did, showcasing different costumes and props. So I was really happy about that little art gallery. And then right now is kind of like the art gallery for movie posters, I guess, which I kind of made in a way to look like a red carpet. So yeah, I really enjoyed all of the items that came with Get Baemous. They just had such great items, and so appropriate to what the pack is as well. So I was really happy with all of the stuff that we got. So I tried my best to show them off as much as I can in this build, but there were some stuff that I wasn't able to show off, like the camera equipments, which were on display in the original museum that I ended up replacing. But I mean, those are camera equipments. I just decided to focus a little bit more on the artwork itself. Also, I'm showing you guys footage of me furnishing the bathrooms. I don't even know why, but you know, this build wasn't really that long, so you know, we might as well see what the bathrooms look like. And they're just really simple bathrooms and nothing too crazy going on. This topmost level, I imagine, would be kind of like a workshop for those who are interested in art or in filmmaking. This is actually a requirement for the museum venue. It requires you to put some easels. So I put a couple of those over on that little area right there, which I imagine would be a place to take kind of like a workshop on painting, obviously. And then over here we have like a little area for showing movies. So I imagine this place to host like indie movies, like, I don't know, maybe community filmmaking workshop or something like that. So I just wanted to incorporate this little area because this is a film museum. But that being said, I feel like this build is actually coming to an end, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. Don't forget to check out everybody else's builds. All of it will be linked down in the description as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.